Chelsea's intense pre-season preparations under Xabi Alonso. The beginning of a new season always brings fresh excitement, renewed hope and higher expectations, but at Chelsea Football Club this year's pre-season has carried an even greater sense of anticipation. The arrival of head coach Xabi Alonso has introduced a new era at Stamford Bridge, one built on discipline, tactical intelligence, relentless work ethic and an exciting style of football. As the Blues gathered for another demanding day at the Cobham Training Centre ahead of their pre-season fixtures, every player understood that the hard work being done now would determine the team's success throughout the campaign. The atmosphere around Chelsea's training ground was filled with energy from the early hours of the morning. Players arrived focused and determined, greeting one another with smiles before quickly turning their attention to the demanding schedule ahead. New signings, academy graduates and experienced senior stars all mixed together, united by one objective: earning the trust of their new manager. Xabi Alonso arrived before most of his squad, as has become his routine since taking charge. Known throughout his playing career for his professionalism and exceptional football intelligence, Alonso has brought those same qualities into management. Every training session is meticulously planned, with each exercise serving a specific tactical purpose. Nothing is left to chance. Every pass, every sprint, every movement, and every decision is designed to improve the team. Following a brief team meeting inside the training complex, Alonso outlined the objectives for the day's session. He reminded his players that talent alone would never guarantee success. Commitment, teamwork, concentration and consistency would be the foundations of Chelsea's identity under his leadership. His words resonated throughout the dressing room, motivating every member of the squad before they stepped onto the training pitches. The morning session began with a comprehensive warm-up supervised by Chelsea's fitness coaches. Players completed dynamic stretching routines before moving into agility drills designed to improve balance, coordination and explosive acceleration. The intensity gradually increased as short sprint exercises tested both speed and endurance. Even during these physical activities, Alonso observed every movement closely, frequently offering encouragement while correcting positioning and body mechanics. Once the warm-up concluded, attention shifted to possession-based football. Alonso strongly believes that controlling possession begins with intelligent movement, rather than simply accurate passing. Small-sided rondo exercises challenged players to think quickly under pressure while maintaining composure. Midfielders constantly scanned their surroundings before receiving the ball, defenders learned to play confidently through opposition pressure, and attackers practiced creating passing angles through intelligent positioning. Communication quickly became one of the defining features of the session. Alonso repeatedly encouraged his players to speak constantly on the pitch, believing that successful teams communicate before, during and after every action. Every call for the ball, every defensive instruction and every tactical adjustment contributed to creating greater understanding throughout the squad. As training progressed, Alonso divided the players into different tactical units. Defenders worked extensively on maintaining compact defensive lines, coordinated pressing and building attacks from the back. Rather than clearing the ball aimlessly, central defenders were instructed to remain calm in possession and initiate attacks through precise passing combinations. The fullbacks received equally demanding instructions. Alonso wants his wide defenders to contribute significantly in attack while remaining disciplined defensively. They practiced overlapping runs, underlapping movements, accurate crossing, and immediate recovery into defensive positions after losing possession. Every transition between attack and defense had to be completed at maximum intensity. Chelsea's midfielders faced perhaps the most tactically demanding exercises of the day. Alonso emphasized controlling the rhythm of matches through intelligent positioning and quick decision-making. Players rotated between defensive responsibilities and attacking support, learning when to slow the tempo and when to accelerate play with progressive passing. Every midfielder was expected to contribute both offensively and defensively. Meanwhile, the forwards concentrated on movement inside and around the penalty area. Clinical finishing drills required attackers to react instinctively to crosses, through balls and rebounds. Alonso constantly reminded his strikers that creating space was often more important than simply chasing the ball. Intelligent movement could open opportunities not only for themselves but also for teammates arriving from midfield. One particularly demanding section of training focused entirely on high pressing. Alonso wants Chelsea to regain possession immediately after losing the ball, preventing opponents from building attacks comfortably. Players practiced coordinated pressing triggers, ensuring the entire team moved together rather than individually. If one player pressed aggressively without support, the exercise stopped immediately, allowing Alonso to explain the correct collective movement. The goalkeepers were equally busy throughout the session. Modern football requires goalkeepers to do much more than make saves, and Alonso expects his keepers to function as an additional outfield player during build-up. They practiced distribution with both feet, quick passing under pressure, and accurate long balls that could launch counter-attacks. Shot-stopping exercises remained demanding, with repeated close-range finishing drills testing their reactions and concentration. As the morning session drew to a close, players paused briefly for hydration before beginning one of the most physically challenging phases of the day. High-intensity interval running tested endurance levels, while strength coaches closely monitored workloads using modern performance technology. Every sprint, heart rate, and recovery period was carefully recorded to ensure players reached peak fitness without risking injury. Following lunch and recovery sessions, Chelsea returned for an afternoon tactical practice centered around match situations. Alonso organised 11 versus 11 games replicating scenarios the team could face during the upcoming pre-season fixtures. Different tactical challenges were introduced throughout the matches, forcing players to adapt quickly while maintaining their overall structure. Whenever mistakes occurred, Alonso stopped play calmly to explain alternative solutions. His coaching style combined patience with demanding standards. Rather than criticizing errors harshly, he encouraged players to understand why a different decision would have produced a better outcome. This educational approach helped build confidence while reinforcing tactical discipline. Team chemistry also continued to develop naturally throughout the day. Experienced players welcomed younger teammates, offering guidance both during exercises and between sessions. Academy graduates appreciated the opportunity to train alongside established internationals, while senior professionals embraced their leadership responsibilities. Alonso encouraged this unity, believing that success depends on collective commitment rather than individual brilliance. The coaching staff frequently praised the players' willingness to embrace new tactical concepts despite the demanding workload. Every session introduced fresh challenges requiring constant concentration and adaptability. Although mistakes remained inevitable during the learning process, visible improvements emerged with each passing day. Recovery became equally important after such an intense workload. Players completed stretching routines before moving into ice baths, massage therapy, physiotherapy, and nutritional recovery programs. Chelsea's medical and sports science departments worked closely with Alonso to ensure every player recovered effectively ahead of the next training session. Speaking briefly after training, Alonso expressed satisfaction with the squad's attitude, while emphasizing that significant work still remained before the competitive season began. He praised the commitment shown by every player and highlighted the importance of maintaining humility throughout the preparation period. According to the Chelsea manager, building a winning team requires patience, continuous improvement, and complete dedication every single day. The players left Cobham physically exhausted but mentally encouraged. Each demanding session brought them one step closer to understanding their manager's philosophy and building the foundations for a successful campaign. Confidence continued to grow as fitness levels improved, tactical understanding deepened, and relationships within the squad strengthened. Supporters have already begun noticing the renewed sense of optimism surrounding Chelsea. They eagerly await the team's performances during pre-season, hoping to see clear signs of Alonso's footballing philosophy translated onto the pitch. While trophies cannot be won during the summer, strong preparation often provides the platform for future success. As Chelsea continue their pre-season journey, every training session represents another opportunity to improve. Under Xabi Alonso's leadership, the club is determined to establish an identity built on intelligent football, relentless pressing, technical excellence, defensive organisation, and unwavering teamwork. The road ahead will undoubtedly present challenges, but inside the Cobham Training Centre, belief continues to grow that Chelsea are building something special. Every sprint, every tactical drill, every pass, and every conversation between players and coaches serves one purpose: preparing the Blues to compete at the highest level when the new season finally begins. With determination, discipline, and unity driving the squad forward, Chelsea supporters have every reason to look toward the future with optimism and excitement.